Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi. Okay. So, my name is Roseline. If you've been frequent here or you have actually attended any of our lives before, you just might have seen my face. Today, we're going to be talking about Hayabo. We're going to be talking about scholarships. We're going to be talking about study loans, right? This is, I think, the most popular question that we always get from people that come to us. People want to know if they're able to fund their studies through full or partial scholarships, or if they're going to be able to get access to study loans. And this is what we're going to be addressing today. So if you have people who are interested in studying abroad and want to know more about how to access scholarships or just know what is available out there in order for them to plan, then you would want to share this link with them so that they can join, right? So please share this link so we can have people who at the end of this session ask specific questions that might be able to help them get access to scholarships. Okay. So yeah, what are scholarships? What are study loans, especially for international students? Scholarships are types of sponsorships that either a governmental body or the government or non-governmental bodies give to students or individuals who fulfill a certain criteria. So it might be as a result of being from a certain region, it might be academic excellence, you might have to enter into some sort of competition for it, or whatnot. So these are accessible and available at a certain period on a yearly basis. Some come up one-off, some are consistent and they are available year in, year out. So today we're going to be discussing about scholarships that are available in the UK, some that are available in Canada and in the US. Well, maybe not specific scholarships, but really how to look for scholarships, because they are numerous. They're just too much. Okay. So if you're interested in this, please send it to people who might be interested. Then we're going to be looking at study loans. So there are some people who do not have the time to apply for scholarship. They either don't have the time or they either don't have the track record. So scholarships are really beneficial, or the beneficiaries of scholarships really, I would say, is mostly skewed towards people who have some sort of academic excellence. Doesn't mean if you're 2-2 and below you cannot get access to scholarships. It just means that your chances are lower compared to the amount of scholarships that are available. So for people who either do not want to wait, enter into competitions, write certain foreign exams, because sometimes you might need to write some exams and get some specific scores, such as maybe your GMAT or an IELTS exam and whatnot. Some people are not interested in that and they want to have access to loans. We're going to be talking about that as well in this live. Okay, so first things first, how disclaimer, first of all, these are information that have been researched, and these are also information that we have found out while in the business. We do not offer scholarships. We can advise you, but we do not help in procuring scholarships. However, we can help with your application process, either for the school and for visa processing as well. But when it comes to getting the scholarship itself, we do not actually do that. Okay. So for scholarships, you have to be someone who is ready to know what is happening out there. There's no one person that will just come and tell you, oh, this is the scholarship apply, oh, this is the scholarship apply. No, this information are out there. They are numerous. A simple Google search would reveal numerous scholarships that are available depending on the country that you're looking for or the type of scholarship that you're looking for. So when a lot of people come to me and say, oh, I want you to give me scholarship, Google. Okay, Google and find the scholarship that you feel you're eligible for. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is that you have to be able to apply and pass. Most times the scholarships are for a limited number of people. There might be 10, 5, 50, 100, and it might cut across different countries. So some scholarships might be available, but it's not, Nigerian students are not eligible. Some might be available, but it's specific to a particular course. So for people who have maybe engineering background or specific engineering studies, or for people who have medical background, or maybe people who read a foreign language or history or education. So it might actually be specific to a certain field, or specific to a certain region or country. So you need to find that out. Now, once you get that, all scholarships will give you their rules. Some would say apply to the school, get a place. You need to be found worthy of being given an admission, then you can apply. So some scholarships will be applied automatically. So if you are eligible, you are automatically entered into the running, and if you get it, then good for you. But a lot you'd have to apply separately. Now, some would come with a specific amount. So it might be 5,000 off your tuition or towards your living cost. It might be your full tuition fee. It might be tuition fee plus living costs. So it all depends on the one you apply for. Now, what skills do you need for this? If you're applying for scholarship, you definitely need to know how to write, because even if they do not require you to send in a personal statement or send in an essay to apply, they are going to be judging you based on your statement of purpose that you have written for the admission. So if they do not require you to submit a separate essay, they will be judging you based on the essay that had been submitted in order to get your admission. Now, having looked at the scholarship, you need to identify what they are really focused on, what areas. Some want to see hardship. They want to see how you have persevered through hardship, how it has been difficult for you to study or difficult for you to get to where you are, but through resilience, you've been able to get there and you're not stopping, right? So that might be what they want to consider. Some might want to see academic excellence. Well, academic excellence might not be enough if you're not able to justify it. Now, a lot of people have 2-1s. A lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people have first class, but a lot of people have 2-1s, varying 2-1s, right? And you need to be able to back it up with other things that you have done outside your study time. So what are other areas that you're excelling at? What is a particular thing you're very passionate about in your society, in your community, in your personal life, in the lives of other people? What do you want to do after you have finished? So your future goals also plays a very huge role in giving you scholarship, because they want to see, okay, if we give you the opportunity to study this, what are you going to be able to do for your society? What are you going to be able to do for the world? So you need to actually factor all this into your essay, rather your SOP. Now, when you do that and you apply to the school that is eligible, and you apply for the course that's eligible, you'll be automatically considered for it. And then if you pass, then they will give you the scholarship. So now let's talk about the ones where you have to apply separately. I'm going to call some scholarship just in case you guys want to hear 1 or 2 names, but I'm just talking about the general thing that you would need to do. Now, for a lot of other scholarships, you actually need to apply, and they're going to let you know what they are really focused on. So some would say they want you to talk about the projects that you would want to do once you're back. Some want to know what projects you already have done and how this particular scholarship is going to help you to bridge the gap that you had found while doing those projects. So say someone read agricultural science or something in agric and has been doing something in that space upon graduation. Now you've seen a lot of gaps. Maybe you want to help farmers. Maybe you want to treat certain crops that are not yielding properly due to diseases or whatnot. Or you want to be able to do agricultural finance to help farmers get access to both local and international loans, so that they can actually expand their businesses and then feed the nation, right? So different types of things that you want to focus on. Now, your limited knowledge in that particular field can be an hindrance, but this is something that you have been able to work in. It's a field you've worked in and you found the gap, but you're not able to bridge this. So you need to defend why this scholarship would be able to help you gain that knowledge, gain maybe the connections that you're going to need, so you can come back and then use that knowledge to either help your personal business or help the community. So in this case, if it is not specifically indicated that it's for people who have a certain CGPA, which is one of the elimination factors or eliminating factors, if it is open to people who can show track record, then even for people who have 2-2, even for people who have, I don't know about all that, but even for people who have 2-2, you will be able to apply if you can show that you are really passionate about what you do and you have a track record. So that is it for scholarships. So guys, we don't offer scholarships. It's going to be very hard for us to offer scholarships when there are certain criteria you need to fulfill, and these criteria have to be fulfilled by you. Well, you can have help in crafting your essay, in terms of guiding you on the best ways or helping you to see what you have actually achieved in life. A lot of people have issues with framing what they have achieved in life. A lot of people don't even know that they've achieved a lot. So you've done so much for your people around you, for your communities, you've engaged in activities, you have learned so many things that is valuable in the society, but you just don't realize that you actually have this thing. So in that case, yes, you can have guidance, you can have clarity so that you can apply for the scholarships. But in the sense that we give you a scholarship, that is not available. Now, what about study loans? Now, for study loans, there are some organizations that give study loans. However, there are also criteria that one would have to fulfill, depending on the organization. If it's international or if it's a local organization, you have to, first of all, show track record, have academic excellence. Mostly it's for postgraduate. So please, I'm talking about postgraduate here. Mostly it's for postgraduate, okay? But you can also get for undergraduate. Sometimes you have to have started the undergraduate program and you're maybe in your second year or in your third year, depending on if it's a 3-year program or a 4-year program. So, but mostly it's for undergraduate. Why? Because they want to see track record. They want to see, especially when it comes to academic excellence, they want to know that you have started working. So say you have finished your studies and you have worked for a while, you've been able to save some sort of money, maybe have some sort of assets, that's a plus. Besides that, they know that you're going to be able to get a job. So the master's is just to upgrade you from where you are to where you want to be. But say you haven't actually worked before, you're fresh out of secondary school, you're 17 years, who's going to give you a loan? How you pay back? Do you understand? How will you pay back this particular loan? So for people in maybe second, third year of universities, yes. For people that are looking for master's program, yes, there are organizations that give study loans. So there are organizations in Nigeria. You might have to reach out to us for us to give you the names, because I don't know if it's permitted for us to speak about companies, especially the ones that are available in Nigeria here. So you might have to reach out to us for that. There are some who would only give you this scholarship if you have actually arrived at the country. So for instance, a company like Landwise in the UK, you have to have landed in the UK. So you have to have gotten an offer, you have to have probably paid your deposit, gotten your visa, landed, settled in the UK, and then you can secure loan for the remainder of your fees and maybe even upkeep. So that is so you can actually get something like that. Then there are organizations like Empower. I think everybody already knows about Empower. They offer scholarships mostly to US universities, right? So some of the things that you might have to fulfill is, one, to show that you have academic excellence. You need to be able to prove that you really want to study and then you're serious, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if you do not have that, you might not be able to get it. It just means that it's easier for people who can show that. Now, for people who have graduated, it's easier for you if you've maybe worked. It's easier for you if you're going to a course that is related to the background that you studied in the previous. So let's say you studied a particular background, you're working in that background and you're furthering your studies in that background. What they're looking at is the your ability to secure a job once you finish, because you have to start repaying this loan 6 months upon graduation. So they spread it out for you over a couple of years, and then you have to actually pay back this loan. Now, your ability to be able to secure a job is very important, so that you can, it's a loan, you have to pay it back, right? So that you can pay back this loan. And then for people who are going into STEM, right? STEM courses, science, mathematics, engineering, and technology. These are people that it is very likely that you're going to get a job, because there are so many opportunities out there currently, internationally and locally, for people who are into STEM careers. So you have a very good chance of getting access to the scholarship. So if you want to know more, and then you want to know the available institutions, they have institutions in Canada, they have institutions in the US. For the Canadian institutions, they are not as much, and about 80 to 9% of them require you to have a high CGPA to even get access into the university, get admitted into the university in the first place. And you do need to get admitted before you can actually secure the loan. So then you have hundreds of universities in the US as well. So if you're interested in any of these countries, you fit the criteria I just talked about, please reach out to us, and then we can put you through, get you help you with the application in terms of getting you the offer, and also help you with the application for the loan, if that is what you want to get access to. Then let's talk about universities. There are numerous universities across the countries that we work with. So I'm just going to mention the 5 countries. There's US, UK, Ireland, Canada, and Australia. So there are numerous universities. I'm not going to mention any particular scholarship, but for all universities in these countries, and even in Europe, for all universities, they have university scholarships. You will not be able to know about the scholarships except you browse, except you check, and then except you check that it is eligible for your course or for your country. Some are eligible, some scholarships are for everyone. Anybody can apply as long as you fit the criteria, but some are specific to some countries. So the good thing is that Nigeria usually features in most of this eligibility criteria, except it's for people from Asia, China, India. So when it's Asia, no. But when it's open to more than just Asia, a lot of times Nigeria features in the available countries. Okay, so you need to check. There's so much. Sometimes you actually have to go to individual university pages, go to their scholarships section, and then you will find scholarships. So for people who have some amount of money, say you have 50% of what you're going to use to pay maybe tuition and make all the arrangements, then you can look for scholarships to secure the remaining 50%. I think it's easier to get a scholarship that is going to be giving you a certain amount in your towards your tuition fee than for you to actually get a full scholarship, because most times full scholarships are usually very limited. So even if they say there are 20 participating countries, they might not take more than 1 or 2 people per country, right? So the competition is very tough. But when it's like 5k off your tuition, 7k, 2k, 3k, something like that, is easier to access, because this way they are able to give it to more people across several countries. So this I'm telling you, I a lot of our students and a lot of people that I know have actually gotten a huge chunk of their tuition fees yanked off through applications for scholarship. So this cuts across different types of fields. It doesn't necessarily have to be in science, but science actually has a lot of opportunities. People who are in the creative department also have a lot of opportunities. So if you're in maybe arts, journalism, you're learning a foreign language like English or things like that, history, you also have access to lots of scholarship, lots of discounts yanked off your tuition fee. But if you don't check, you will not know, right? So while you are looking for a school to apply to, this can also be one of the things that you're going to consider when you want to make an application to a school. The first criteria is you need to be eligible for admission. So you need to be able to actually get admitted. So once you've gotten admitted, then you can start accessing the scholarships that you want to get. So I did put down a some scholarships. So I'm going to read them out here. I think I have them somewhere on my laptop. Okay. So for the UK, I think everybody already knows about the UK government scholarship, the Sheving scholarship and the Commonwealth scholarship. So Commonwealth is for all the countries that were colonized by the UK. They get access to scholarship for masters, and there's a Sheving scholarship, and then there's a Great scholarship. But the Sheving and Commonwealth, unfortunately, you have to have a 2-1. It's just a criteria. For the Great scholarship, for some schools, you don't necessarily have to have a 2-1 for some schools. So they are participating schools, right? So you need to go to each of these school pages, or just go to the British Council website, and you're going to see it has a list of everything. You have to go to the schools. The schools will select the country that they want to apply for through the Great scholarship. Most of the time, they will select a particular department or a course you must apply for to be eligible. Okay. Now, the good thing about them is that if you can show hardship, and everybody knows that if it's hardship, Nigeria on a normal day is hard, right? Doesn't matter if you're upper class, lower class, high class, whatever. They are just setting hard things that you need to experience and pass through just by being Nigerian. So I think that everybody can actually pull experiences from their lives that have been hard, and then they can use this to apply. So if you can show hardship, then you might be able to get one of the Great scholarship without actually having a 2-1, right? Then you also have, like I've also said, university scholarships. So there are university scholarships that you can get. So go to their website, or if you're looking at UK schools, just go to the British Council website. So I'm going to the website is study-uk.britishcouncil.org, and then go to the scholarship section. You are going to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of scholarship. So just take a couple of hours. It's not something you can do in a day. You need to do the filters to filter out ones that Nigerians are eligible for, filter out the ones that are for your course, right? Filter out the ones that maybe for the what sort of CGPA you're supposed to have. So if you are supposed to be on a 2-1 or 2-2 or a first class to be able to be eligible for, if you go there, you're going to have access to a whole lot. And then you need to now be mindful of the time. Most of them have deadlines, and the deadlines run into after you must have gotten an offer from the participating school. So when you note the deadline and you note that you are going to be eligible, then you need to quickly put in an application, and this is something that we can do for you. You need to quickly put in an application, get an offer out, an unconditional offer. Well, except the conditional offer, only condition is that you pay your tuition fee, and so that we can just assume it's an unconditional offer because it's fees. But if you're getting an offer and they still require you to submit maybe an English test, or they still require you to submit maybe an updated SOP. In fact, if it's updated SOP, why you apply for scholarship? Because your SOP has to be nice. Like your SOP is like the #1 criteria that they're going to be using to consider. So your SOP has to be top notch, okay? But if you have other criteria, like maybe your transcript needs to be what's the word now? Official copy. Sorry guys. The transcript has to be official copy. Maybe your certificate has to be not statement of a result, but the true certificate or things like that. If those are the things you need to fulfill, you need to fulfill it and get an unconditional offer. So once you get an unconditional offer, you can now apply for the scholarship. But if you do not start this in time, scholarship is not something you just wake up today, just start and say, oh, tomorrow. No, you have to have started maybe like a year or minimum like 9 months before, because there's a timeline for application, there's a timeline for application to the school, timeline for application for the scholarship, timeline for the scholarship to be awarded to you, and then whatever it is that has to now happen will now happen, and then you go in and get your visa. So if you don't start on time, these things cannot, they can't work. It's just not going to happen. You probably start, thinking about the following year. So for now, there are lots and lots of scholarships that are available for September. January is out. Maybe some for May, June. in some countries, but mostly for September. And most of these scholarships for September are ending around April, May, which means that you should have been applying now or be on the way to getting an offer. If you don't have track record of something, start building track record, because you have to write story, right? When you're making your application, you have to write stories. You have to write really great stories, really touching stories, stories that are really descriptive of the things that you have done, experiences that you have gathered, or things that you have realized in life, like, oh my goodness, if I had not gone through this, I would not have realized this. Then you need to know, what do you want to do with this information? How is the course going to help you get from where you are with the realization that you have gotten to the next phase? These things you can't do in 1 or 2 days, because it takes research. You have to calm down. You have to maybe seek counsel or advice from people. There are lots of people all around the world that are also going to be applying for the same scholarship, not just you. So you need to put down a very touching and a very convincing SOP or essay. So you need time to go about this, and I can bet you there are lots of people getting this. If I have not seen so many people getting partial and full scholarships, and wondering, okay, what's happening? Why are people not, a lot more people not knowing about this? Then maybe I would not say this. There are lots of people that are getting full scholarships, paid. People who read English. If you have arts courses and you have science courses, I swear you have so much. You just need to do the research. Please just do the research. There are lots and lots and lots of offerings to you guys. Lots and lots of offerings. Hundreds. There must be one you are eligible for. Now maybe you try the first year, it doesn't work, then try again the second year. It's not as if it doesn't work, you have the money to go and do the full tuition. So put in more effort, learn from your mistakes, gather more track record. You need to do things. You need to apply yourself. So let me just say, for instance, you don't have a job, you're still looking for a job, and you just sit at home. It doesn't work. What have you been doing while you were waiting? You need to pick up a course. You need to start doing something for your community. Why not start calling the people in your environment and start teaching them? If you are in STEM, maths is a very, very big problem. A lot of children do not know maths. They do not like maths. Why don't you help them to know maths and love maths? Why don't you teach them in a way that is engaging, that their teachers in school do not have the time for? Teachers have hundreds of pupils in different classes, primary 1, primary 2, primary 3. You have to see to all of them. They don't have time to give specific attention to just one student, right? So if you can actually break it down better, use things in the environment to help them to understand it better, help them find love for this particular field, have track record, film yourself. If you do this for a year, I'm telling you, if you have the result of pupil A, say he was getting G's and C's or even F, and then you have moved him from that to a B or an A, it's track record. It's something that you have done for people around you, for your community, and it will give you insight into the thing that is missing in our education sector, right? So for whether in our education sector or in the teaching methods, these are things that you can use to describe why you want to go for your course, what you want to do when you come back, what teaching method you want to use. So this can be applied to anything. You read environmental science, or you read marine biology or whatever, and you're sitting at home and you say that there's no job. Why are you not using social media? You don't even have to have followers. That's even the great thing. So you say people are not listening to you, people are not following. It doesn't matter. You are putting record down, right? You start writing information about the things that are happening in the community and how people can maybe recycle their water, or how we can maybe our gutters and canals, how we can clean them up, what kind of things are people supposed to be sensitive to, what kind of diseases people are being exposed to by living close to such filth and dirt. Just bringing out information. Once you have enough track record, maybe start a blog, go to Blogger is free. You start a free blog, go to some places, take pictures, write something about it, on your blog, and it's going to be there permanently. It's a track record, right? Once you have enough of these things, go to LinkedIn, start sending messages. Go to Facebook, send message to one or two people. Okay, maybe they have an engineering firm or whatever that you want to take a tour. You want to learn that this is something that you are doing. This is what you think that you want to do. You want to take a tour in their facility. You want to know this. You want to know that. I'm telling you, if you have track record, people will give you access. Now, I'm not saying you're using it to go and get a job. I'm saying you're using it to build track record. Once you have access and you've been able to do certain things, these are things that can feature in your scholarship essay. You took initiative. You took action. There's so many things that can be done. If we have activists, graduates that are really passionate about changing things in their immediate environment, Nigeria will be way much better, way much better. So there's different social issues, environmental issues. If you read psychology, start doing free counseling for people that have maybe career counseling. Now a lot of people are confused, they don't even know what to do. Okay, so start doing career counseling for people. How many people's lives have you changed, and how can this cause help you to get more knowledge, right, and then more access to information that you can use to help? You're coming back. The idea originally is that you want to do this and come back to your country, so please get that in mind. So how can you help? So if you're not able to do these things, how do you draw a connection how do you draw a connection with what you have done to what you want to do when you come back? It's very easy when you have a track record, but when you don't, you might have to start beating around the bush. You might lie, or you might not be able to defend why you should get it over someone who has been doing something like that. So you go to Egypt, you go to Afghanistan or whatever. Those people are doing many things. So people are going to hospitals, visiting hospitals. Gather your friends, go and visit hospital. Just give attention to people that do not have family members coming to visit them. I'm talking about hospitals around your side. You don't even have to use transport money. When you go there, take pictures, put it on your social media, or open a page. Say, okay, we are the youth against loneliness for sick people, youth against for social justice. So I don't know, right? Visit prisons. Go and visit people that have not had anybody come visit them. Lawyers or people that have things that have to do with law and stuff. There's so many things you can do, and there's so many scholarships that are available to you. Do something. When you sit at home and you don't do anything, you don't realize the gaps that we have. And when you don't realize the gaps that we have, you do not know how you fit into that gap, and you will not have access to these things. But when you do, I tell you, you're going to have a lot of access. And of course, we can help you along the way with applications and all that. So that is how we actually fit into this. Adetunji Francis Tan 1. You said hello. Do you have a question for me? Do you want me to answer something? So I think I've been rambling off there. So what else do I have on my list? So I've talked about scholarships and loans, the countries that you can get this, how to set your scholarship. I've told you how to set your scholarship. Please just go online. There are lots and lots of scholarships. You're looking at governmental scholarships, you're looking at non-governmental scholarships, and non-governmental scholarships are universities that have scholarships, either particular discounts off your tuition or full scholarships. Okay, so you want to look at universities. Then there are other bodies as well, non-governmental bodies that offer scholarship that cuts across different universities. Maybe it's a fellowship. Maybe one rich person that graduated from a particular school will be offering a particular scholarship. Those are also accessible, but you need to actually look for it. So once you look for it, you see that you're eligible. Look at the deadline. If you have enough time between when you're searching and the deadline to apply, get it, and also apply for the scholarship, then go for it. If you don't, then plan for the next intake. Okay, very important. And what I was saying about the next intake is, if you have looked at the criteria and you know that you do not have anything that you can use to show that you really want to do something, and you really want to do something when you come back, you need to start doing something, especially for people that do not have academic excellence. It's just important. Nobody will take £10,000, £20,000 and give to you for nothing. Like, why? No, you need to show that this is what you want to do. If you want to claim hardship, you need to realize hardship that other people are going through, hardship, what people didn't help you with while you were growing. You need to want to bridge that gap. So once you have finished your school, you struggled and finished university, all well and good. What are you doing for the next people that are coming up, that are also facing that? Do you understand? Do something. And with that, and do something and have evidence. Very important, because it's easy for you to go and claim these things, and just in case they might want to look for track record, then you should have those pictures. As you're writing your essay, be putting pictures. Oh, when we visited blah blah blah, you put picture here. An account of this blah blah blah, you put the person. Like when you're doing like that, you're looking proof. Before you know, they're giving you your letter. You're like, oh, you've been successful, these are the criteria they need to meet, please do this, do this. And then before you know, you're a scholarship owner. Okay, so you guys should do that. I'm open for questions. Please guys, please, can you help talk about student loan again? I joined late. Okay, so for student loans, there are Nigerian companies. I said you have to get through to us if you want to get that, because I don't know if it's okay to talk about Nigerian companies. I talked about Lendwise in the UK. Lendwise, you have to have gotten the offer, you have to have paid a part of your tuition, you have to have been in the UK, and then you can now use them to get part of your tuition fees sorted. Okay, or maybe living costs. So it might be, okay, you need some sort of money for living costs and all, you need to now apply. So you can also get through to us for that. Then I talked about Empower. There are loads and loads of other ones, but these are the three I talked about. There's also Empower. So Empower is a popular student loan organization for student loans into US and Canadian universities. So for Canadian universities, they have very limited schools, about 20 to 23 schools thereabout. And most of these schools that are in the Canada section, they require a 2.1 and above at CGPA. So if you don't even have that, then you might not be eligible for Canada. But I think that there's a few schools, about 2 or 3, that would still take you if you have lesser than that. So reach out to us and then we'll be able to do this for you. Now for the US, there are hundreds of schools. So for US, you have way more options, right, that you can look at. But firstly, you need to be eligible for that school. You need to be able to get an offer, most likely get an offer. Then with that, we'll be able to apply for you. Now I talked about how you stand the most chance. First of all, if you are in STEM, that's science, technology, mathematics, STE, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, career or fields, or you're going into any of those subject areas, then you stand a better chance. If you also graduated, you worked in your line, let's say you graduated as a journalist or mass comm, you're working as a journalist, you've worked for a while, you're going to further your course in journalism, there's a track record, and you're better able to secure a job, because you have to start paying 6 months after you graduate. You're better able to secure a job when you graduate. It's very important. They need to see that you have a future. They need to be able to get their money back, right? So that can also, you have to apply and they need to approve it. So that can also help. You need to also not have loans. So you guys are always taking loan from all these loan apps there and there, and you don't pay, or you drop your phone anyhow and somebody uses your phone to take a loan, and your at the credit bureau is showing that you're a debtor or a chronic debtor, then that's also something that you're going to check. You need to see that you are worthy and that you're going to pay back that loan. So these are some of the things that you need to look at. So to make application, please reach out to us. That's something that we can take you through. We need to find a school under them that you can be eligible for and get an admission for. Once that is done, then that is 50% off. Then the next is for the application stage, and we can take you through all that. So please send a DM or go to the link in the bio and then chat with one of our counselors, and then you can go through that. So do we have any other questions here? Who has a question for me? Okay, so I'm looking if there's any other thing that I haven't talked about. Is there any other thing I haven't? Nope. I think I've covered all the subjects I wanted to talk about. So who has a question for me? Guys, who has a question? You guys don't have questions about scholarship. If we get 10 questions, at least 4 to 5 Someone is asking about scholarships or discount. Now today I'm coming to let you guys know about scholarship and discounts, and I'm not getting questions. You better ask me so that I can tell you how to go about it. Thank you, Ebon. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so for lack of questions, I'm just going to do a recap, and then we're going to call it a day for this live session. Okay, for those of you that were able to join, thank you. For those of you that you have people who might be interested in this information, please and please, we're going to repost this on our social media, all our social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, well, Instagram and YouTube. So you can actually send the link to your loved ones who are interested in scholarship so that they can start getting ready to apply. So like I said, it's a simple Google search. With Google, you will get a lot of information, right? So once you get the information, what you need to have in mind is that there are governmental scholarships, and then there are university scholarships. So for university scholarships, you have to go to each of those universities, but there are sites that aggregates most of this, so you can actually filter out the ones that you feel are applicable to you, and then go to each of these universities individually. Most of them will have criteria that you need to meet. You need to meet that criteria. One of the most prevalent criteria is academic excellence. So if you don't have academic excellence, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get a scholarship, but it means that you now have to try harder. You now have to look farther because they are limited, and you now need to be able to show other areas that you have done something. So you cannot not have academic excellence and not have track record of doing something great. So I gave example of things that you could do while you are looking for scholarship. Even while you're working, what are you doing for your society? What have you discovered that you want to change? What are the things that can happen? So even if you want to change something, you need to show that you have started taking action, and then the scholarship is going to make a difference. But you don't just come and say, I want scholarship, I've noticed this and I want to come and change. Okay, what have you done in the meantime, right? Even though your options were limited, your knowledge in that space was limited, what did you do? Okay, so if you can do that without academic excellence, then of course you'll be able to get scholarships to schools in the UK, US, Canada. For US, most likely you might need to write a GRE or GMAT exam, and maybe an IELTS, an English exam. Okay, because that is a very big deal. And in fact, with very high scores, your chances of getting your visa is now even greatly enhanced. So for US, you might want to write the exam. You might want to write the exam, especially for people that do not have a 2-1. With a very high GMAT or GRE score, depending on what the school needs, you can get access to a lot of funding plus application. Then you have to now do your English exam. So if really you want to further your study, you can't sit down and think that somebody is going to come and hand it over to you. There's a lot of work that is involved, because there's a lot of money that you get out of it, and there's a lot of value you get out of it. You cannot sit down and think that it will just fall on your laps. You need to do something about it. So if it's the US that's what you want, then please start making efforts. Go for a GMAT class or get the book, start reading, write your exam. Okay, it greatly increases your chances, even for Canadian schools as well. They said, oh, will I be asked if I have worked for some time before applying for study loan? Well, when you're filling the form, there's a section for that. Now, even if you haven't worked before, it doesn't mean that you will not be able to get a study loan, because even people that are in school, from 200 if they are doing a 3-year course, or from 300 if they are doing a 4-year course, can apply. Okay, and these are people that we are assuming have never worked before because they are still schooling. So if you haven't worked before, you will still be able to apply, and you still stand a chance of getting your loan approved. So you just need to so your chances, of course, is you have a clean slate with the credit bureau. You have if you have a STEM course, also very good, or you are in a field that the potential for getting a job is high, especially the earning potential. So no offense to anybody reading secretarial studies, but say you're going for something that has to do with secretarial studies, even when you finish and get a job, how much can you earn with that? But for someone that is going for electrical engineering or data science, that the minute you're finishing, you're going in to earn thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Do you understand? So the earning potential is also factored in, I am assuming, because I don't work for them. So, but you need to get through to us. We evaluate you. First things first, we need to even find a university that you are eligible for, apply, get the offer. That now increases your chances of actually getting the loan at the end of the day. So you need to get a space. So Wisdom, our role, please send us a DM now. Or if Agatha is on this live, just click on his name and send him a DM so that he can we can take him through the process, get a look at his documents and all, and then we'll be able to help him if it's possible. Okay. So I don't even remember what I was talking about before, but I think I'm going to end live now. Thank you so much. We've had 50 minutes of conversation, and if you need more information, do well to message us and we'll be able to supply you. Please remember, consultation is completely free of charge. You can ask us questions and we'll be able to supply you. And if it's possible for us to help you with the information that we've got, then we'll gladly do so. So from me and from Nexi, it's a bye-bye from now. Okay? Bye, guys.